In 2014, Unknown Worlds Entertainment released Subnautica, an underwater sci-fi exploration and survival game that revolutionized the traditional Minecraft, Terraria, and Don't Starve open-world gameplay through its peak graphics, ambient sound designs, sci-fi models, and Gary Fish. The game starts with the player deserted on another planet in the middle of the ocean, after his capital vessel, the Aurora, crashes due to an unknown anomaly. Our character regains consciousness after landing in his escape pod and exits to realize the vastness of our world, abundant with vegetation and alien wildlife. As the game progresses, we realize that we are stranded and very much alone. Nothing to worry about because Avery Quinn, captain of the Sunbeam, receives our distress call and swiftly rushes to our aid to accompany us back home. At this point, this is where the survival game begins, as there is no clear objective left for the player, except to make do with whatever resources and knowledge they will accumulate as they continue to unlock this planet's secrets. On the surface, this game has a very traditional survival playthrough, which includes the mechanics of finding food, collecting resources, upgrading gear, and constructing a base. At first, the environment the player is thrown into does not seem menacing at all. You notice the expansive reefs and colorful fauna that make you feel at peace with your new home. However, as you abandon the serene surface and delve deeper for adventure, you'll begin to realize a dark and sinister truth that will keep you from returning home. This game appears to be a traditional survival game, but in reality, Subnautica is the perfect example of a terror experience. Before we continue, let's investigate the two areas that trigger our fear response. This includes psychological and physiological factors. Psychological factors include internal influences that shape how we feel, think, and respond to certain situations. Our thought process is one internal influence stimulated by our surroundings. Physiological factors include our physical responses, such as our heart rate, blood pressure, and breathing, in response to fear and other emotions. Here, I'll show a clip from the game. Take note of the sounds, surroundings, and lighting as you watch, and how they each play a role in stimulating our psychological and physiological fear responses, as well as some of the phobias you may experience. I immediately noticed the narrow space, where we are trapped 510 meters underwater in a small iron coffin with a limited field of view. At any moment, something could jump out at us and we would have nowhere to run. Here, the humming of the vehicle plays a great deal in our psychological state of mind. For some, the sound can strike as something similar to white noise, a collection of sounds across the entire audible spectrum, which can typically evoke a sense of relaxation and comfort. That means a sudden interruption would reflexively force us into a fight or flight response, causing physiological responses like our heartbeat and breathing to accelerate. This game utilizes a lot of its environment to induce fear in the player. While there are a few jump scares now and again, it is not the primary mode used to forward this unpleasant and mysterious narrative. It's the use of sounds, lighting, and context that carries the horrifying nature of this world. The synchronization of all these factors is what truly makes Subnautica a perfect example of a terror experience. But at the end of the day, this game teaches us something far more important than a fight or flight response or the elements of fear. It's the realization that most of these fears are just fears created by us. The panic and unease from the game are manifested and triggered in our own minds. There is nothing that will actually harm us in Subnautica. The same goes for a lot of things in life. For adults, it could be paying the bills or caring for their family. For seniors moving on to college, it can be the feeling of leaving their friends behind or trading a sense of normalcy for adulthood. One invaluable lesson I learned from this game is that we shouldn't give fear more credit than it deserves. I learned it's okay to be anxious about life after high school, and as I prepare for college, I realized that everything will work out eventually, and it doesn't matter if it's for better or worse. Whatever the outcome, I will always have my favorite TV show I can find comfort in, a curiosity for a hobby, and people who always support me. A big part of our lives will still be the same. Despite the challenges I will eventually face in higher education, Subnautica has always taught me to look toward the joy and happiness I will always have.